the cycle chart is pointing to, we could see a Black Monday. It's a very high probability of a Black Monday this October 30th into October 31 Halloween this coming week.
Live from America's Heartland, this is the Daily Truth Report with your host, Noah Christopher.
Hey, welcome everybody. I am calling this an emergency broadcast. It is October 24th, and I texted Bo Polny last night, and I said, Bo, can we do an emergency show, something quick, because everything Bo's been telling you is all coming to a head right now as we speak. You're seeing events play out on the world stage. Bitcoin just jumped up by $5,000 in a day, just like Bo told us to watch for. So I said, Bo, we got to come on. We'll do a little bit shorter interview here, but we got to talk about this because things are happening too quick. So, Bo, thanks for coming on at such short notice, and I'm really glad to chat with you today.
Thank you, Noah. Yes, what an amazing time we're living in. Again, these are not political times. They are biblical times. Biblical events are right in front of us. They're manifesting as we watch. October started it with a war that broke out precisely on the day that we talked about what a war is expected to break out. It would literally happen on the eve of the 6th of October into the 7th of October, 50 years to the exact time the Yom Kippur War broke out. And that was at the last moment, the last day of Tabernacles of this year, 2023. So we are in biblical times. Historic things are about to manifest on this earth. It's going to get scary. It's going to be scary what's about to happen, and we cannot stop what's coming. But again, if you know what's coming in terms of if you know not to be afraid, then again, that's the whole essence of, understanding what scriptures are, because Jesus Christ comes to give us life more abundantly, but evil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So do expect fear. There's going to be a lot of news coming, and we're going to talk about some really important dates and time points that are still to happen this month yet. Today's the 24th, and those who know my work, the 24 is a big number. So today is 1024, or the 124 time point. So very, very important time in our world. And literally on that time point, in the past 24 hours, Bitcoin broke out. Just like we were writing in our report. Everyone who's got my report know this. We've seen Bitcoin now break out right above and through 31,000. That was the roof that they've been fighting to not let it go above all year. And incredibly, within 24 hours of 10/24, October 24th, we saw Bitcoin break vertical through 31,000 and presently trading around 33 to 34,000 per coin. So really exciting time point that we're in right now.
Yeah, exactly. And as I'm looking at it right now, Bitcoin is sitting just at $34,000. It's like you said, it's been fighting that ceiling at 30,000, 31,000 for a long time. But you told us to watch for this time period. In fact, let me share my screen here, Bo. I want to throw something on here. I have edited this to not give away confidential information from your subscribers, but let me throw this up on the screen. Here we go. Yeah, check this out. So this this yellow part has actually been, and you can jump in and stop me, Bo, but I think I'm okay to share this. This has been in your newsletter. You do a newsletter over at gold2020forecast.com. You have been telling us this, if you look at these dates, since 2022, almost a year ago. You had it when Bitcoin hit the low on November 21st, 2022. Bitcoin hit 15,479. You said, now get ready for it to go. And then we had a multi-year bull market begin.
Right. Actually, just to pause you for a minute, really, I wrote this today in my private subscriber update, but basically I just cut and paste this from all of our reports. This has been in my report, every single report that I've been writing for the past 11 months. And so those of you who had our work very clearly know that in October of 2022, so last October, 12 months ago, we were writing that don't be surprised if Bitcoin, and we expect Bitcoin to break down through 19,000 and collapse on the 8th of November. This is last year.
Yep.
We wrote this in October. On that exact day, Bitcoin broke down through 19,000, collapsed. Because why? It was in a cycle. Cycles precede events. And this Bitcoin broke down, bottomed at around, was it $15,479. On that exact day, that was the final bottom for Bitcoin, but it broke down specifically on the 8th through the 9th of November. So our analysis predicted the exact bottom for Bitcoin. I think we're the only one in the world that did that. More importantly, I said the next day, the bull market begins into this is a multi-year bull market Bitcoin is about to embark on, okay? The next day we said that. This has been written in every single report for the past 11 months, and it's been dead on accurate to the exact day. And now we're watching Bitcoin finally, after all of this year, since January to now, it finally breaks through. And this is so cool. On 1024, within 24 hours of 1024, October 24th, it breaks through overhead resistance at 31 to 30,000. It finally broke through that, and now it's doing what? It's trading just at around $34,000. So if you want to read this is actually, you can go ahead and read this. This is what we wrote.
Yeah, you did. It just came out just in your update you published today. So yeah, let me just read it for everybody. I know a lot of times we have people listening while they're driving or listening while they're working out or whatever. So let me just read this because it's pretty incredible. And like you said, this has been in your report for the last 11 months. And then one of the cool things I like, Bo, is all your reports are available historically. So people, if they want to go get your newsletter, you can get in there and go back and read all these. And you can find out that what I'm telling you is all in black and white in the history. So let me just read this. So it says, for the past 11 months, we have written on November 21st, 2022, Bitcoin completed its bottom low at 15,479. The next day, November 22nd, the next multi-year bull market began. Since 2023 began, the price manipulator has been working aggressively to hold Bitcoin under $30,000. And boy, that's been the truth. And it's been almost boring to the point where you keep watching it. It gets up there and then it gets beat down again, just over and over and over. Our analysis is likely the only in the world that nailed the November 21st bottom and the start of the bull market to the exact day. Next, we have been writing, and this is the part that, this is the emergency broadcast where I said, I got to have Bo on today. Next, we have been writing about a vertical price jump that was expected to begin this month of October 2023 for weeks. And today, October 23rd, 24th, key date, as I write this, Bitcoin trades at 33,600, up over 11% in 24 hours. And this is only a start. I've blocked out the rest of that because that's the part where I need to be respectful to Bo's current subscribers. They pay for this analysis. So there is some key stuff in there about what happens next. Some big things that you'd be very excited about. But I got to respect the people that pay for that report, and I've blocked that out. But Bo, there's some big moves still coming. Is that right?
Well, exactly. See, again, we are just witnessing. You want to use the word start. Okay. I was on Nino's show the other day, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was basically saying that expect things to, I was very specific. I used the word start. Expect things to start on or about the 24th of October. And again, see, what we're seeing right now is Bitcoin's the leader of what's coming. Okay, so this is just the start of what is coming. And what's coming? Well, not political things, but they are. What's coming is biblical things, right? We've written specifically, if you want to go to our update or, most recent PDF I sent you, the cover of it basically says, our world events that are happening, they're not political, they're biblical. And what does that mean? Well, on page 3 of that report, you'll basically see I have been the only person, I don't know who else has done this, but I hear a lot of people talking about Revelation, and they're talking about the seals, and several people are actually saying, hey, the seals are potentially opening. But you know that I've been on your show for 3 years now saying that the first seal was Corona, and it manifested in January of 2020. Mm-hmm. And then I said that's a 3.5 year cycle that takes us into August 8th. And then you have the Maui fires occur on that exact day. And I said now as we race into the winter solstice, because the summer solstice, when the text came out, remember that 1260 days summer solstice text comes out linking Hunter with his father. And I said, summer solstice to the winter solstice, you're going to have a 180-degree shift, which means the world literally is 180 degrees, because that was pure evil going on in the summertime. And we're going to see blessings and massive shifts as we're heading into the winter solstice, which is the 21st of December. So on this page here, Corona was seal 1. The seals of Revelation are opening. Okay, Corona is seal 1. Seal 2 was the piece taken from the earth with George Floyd riots. And then that weekend you saw rioting in Paris, and then globally it's just been wars and rumors of wars. A piece was taken from the earth. And now we're at a very critical time point. No, we have been talking about the third horse. what does he have in his hands when you look at that picture?
Mhm.
Scales, right? So where have we seen scales in the Bible? Belshazzar and the writing on the wall.
Mhm.
Mene, tekel, upharsim. You have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. Your kingdom has come to an end. We are about to witness the fall of Mystery Babylon. How do they build Mystery Babylon? With the money, the US dollar, the fiat-based money system. If God's going to destroy Mystery Babylon, what's he going to destroy? How they built it. The money, the
And
US dollar.
This is one of those things you've been warning us about for several years now, and at first it just seemed preposterous, and now it feels like it could happen any day now.
Well, everybody said, like no one was talking about the petrodollar contract. I was screaming about it because 1971, 50 years was 2021 on August 24th. August 15th of the year 2021, that was 50 years to the exact day Nixon took us off the gold standard. And on that day, Kabul fell. 9 days later was August 24th. Saudis, who we have a petrodollar contract with, they signed with a military agreement with Russia. I'm like telling you, people, within 2 years, this is going to be huge. Because why? There's no reason why the Saudis would need a military contract with another superpower unless they didn't trust the first contract.
Yep.
And so what happened 2 years later to the exact day, August 24th of the year 2023, this year, when they arrested Trump, on that exact same day, Saudis joined the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China. So now they've joined the BRICS, and the prophecy of Kim Clement stands very clearly. The brothers of Goliath, which are the BRICS nations, stand in glee. We will cripple you. They are about to cripple the United States financial system, and the U is the United States dollar. So we are about to see a collapse, not a going away. It doesn't go to zero. It just loses its status as the world reserve currency. We'll probably see a 30% haircut on the US dollar. I'm telling you, watch November. It's going to be crazy what's about to happen. So that takes me into, again, what are we seeing? The black horse is what, Noah? The black horse is the financial collapse, but it's the economic devastation. So we're about to see a historic collapse of the stock market. And this is the crazy part. I did a video, I think maybe 4 to 6 weeks ago on page 7. There it is right there. Basically saying that the stock market cycle pattern is very similar to the crash of 1987. And that crash of 87 occurred specifically in the middle of October. There is also another historic crash. Guess which one that is? The crash of 1929.
Mm-hmm.
The crash of 1929 was horrific. Okay. That cycle chart is very similar, but what's happening is the crash of 1929 occurred as into the end of October, but it started today. So the crash of 1929 began on October 24th. There's that 1, 2, 4 pattern, 1024, which means that the stock market has a huge probability. I'm going to repeat this very slowly. Do not be surprised that this coming Monday, October 30th, will be Black Monday.
Wow.
On the U.S. stock markets. So we are expected to see a minimum about a 25 to 30% collapse on the stock market, which would take it potentially down to about 24,000 before December, and it could be as early as this month of October. So we had a crash of 87 and the crash of 1929, both in October. The cycle chart is pointing to we could see a Black Monday. It's a very high probability of a Black Monday this October 30th into October 31 Halloween this coming week. So a stock market crash is a huge possibility right now. So, and then that again would couple with what we've been talking about, the third seal of Revelation, the black horse. The black horse is an economic collapse, but it's a double-edged sword. It's an economic collapse, which leads to the greatest wealth transfer in human history, because the financial scales get flipped. So something huge is right around the corner. Do expect military conflict, because remember, if we have a crash next week on the stock market, remember 9/11, got to pay attention to history. In 9/11, you had a massive stock market crash on 9/11 because of what events went down with the Twin Towers. So do expect another military conflict. And remember, the prophetic word of Kim Clement is they will bring this nation to its knees.
Wow. So
what better day to bring this nation to its knees than on Halloween?
They love doing that. They love those.
I'm just telling you, don't be surprised. The markets are set up for a crash next week into Halloween. They will bring this nation to its knees. A prophetic word of Kim Clement. But then the next line states very beautifully, and then you will hear the sound of great victory. Welcome to the wealth transfer. We're about to see historic things upon this world. I've been telling everybody, watch as we race into the winter solstice. And as crazy as things might be in the month of October yet, November is going to be even more hairy and more historic. It's really amping up. And the time is so tight, because if you understand scriptures, God only needs how long? One day.
Wow. Very, very scary, but that's why I had to have you on this week, Bo. I just, things are going faster and faster every single week. And this feels like we are almost at the very convergence of all of this that you've been warning us, you've been telling us. It's been in all your reports. You can go back and look at the free PDFs that we publish with every newsletter or with every interview. You can go back and look at join Bo's newsletter, look at his reports to his subscribers. It's all documented, and that's incredible. So, wow. Okay. Well,
so page 42 basically shows the prophetic word of Kim Clement, the brothers of Goliath stand in glee. We will cripple you. This will be directly related to the fall of the U.S. dollar. It will lose the status of the world reserve currency before, I'm telling you, probably very high, probably before year end. Page 42, then page 43 is the great wealth transfer. The entire financial system is pivoting. Page 44 on gold, silver. And cryptocurrencies are directly tied in with this. Okay.
Good.
What leads? Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the leader, and then soon enough, when it all comes to pass, gold and silver are going to rip vertical. We're just seeing Bitcoin take out the roof, and that's all we're seeing. So the roof was 30,000, 31,000. We just saw Bitcoin blast through it. They're holding cryptocurrency. They're holding gold and silver still, but everything's about to blow. Page 45 is the third seal of Revelation. This is the black horse. Okay. So we're going to see this event go down here really soon. Then this will be the fall of Mystery Babylon, which we've been talking about. Also, I want to address very importantly, pages 56 and 57, kind of bouncing around here, but really important why I want to reference this. Remember that we've talked about a page 57. Let's start there first, Noah. On page 57, you can, verify this because you've watched we've done all these interviews together, but you and I literally watched oil go to negative $38 a barrel.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
That's when we first started talking. I think it's one of the times when we kind of started talking. And why? Because why did I know that was a critically important date? Now, this is so important for the viewers to please listen to. There are time windows that are written in the Bible. This is not numerology. It's literally reading scripture where it says it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay. That's scriptural. It also says in Revelation, Daniel 12, verse 7 is a good example of that. It will be for a times and a half a time. It's interesting that Jesus Christ, when he got baptized to when he died on the cross, it was for a times and a half time. It was 3.5 years. You can't make this up, but it happened. Trump gets elected on November 8th, 2016, times and a half a time, 3.5 years to the exact day on April 20th, within 24 hours into the 21st, oil went to negative $38 a barrel. To the exact day.
Oh, I remember.
Remember that, right? 30 days later, the Edenville Dam breaks in Township of Hope, Michigan, May 21. And then 10 days later, so 40 days and 40 nights from oil going to zero, the George Floyd riots break out, and that's Pentecost. Now, that's another critical time point. Well, this is critical here as well, too, because from oil going to zero into the 30 days of May 21, 1,260 days is November 2nd. Literally next week. I'm telling you, we are in critically important time points in our world, starting this November 2nd. And then that leads us into the December 17th. But November is critical. And why I want to reference that also is page 56 above that, because we just mentioned 40 days and 40 nights, which takes us to Pentecost. Okay. Pentecost, we run a 1,260-day cycle, and that's November 11th. 11/11, a week later. I'm telling you, November is critical for the world. And when you read Haggai, it talks about the silver and the gold are mine, saith the Lord. It talks about a wealth transfer. So something is manifesting here. And then page 59, again, what's the critical event, Noah? What's the big day, the big holiday celebration in November?
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Well, let's read scripture and let's find what is written about Thanksgiving in scripture. And this is Galatians 6, verse 7. It says, be not deceived. Because there'll be wars, rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not deceived. This is Matthew 24 also. There'll be wars, rumors of wars, but see to it that you're not deceived, because these are the beginnings of birth pains. The end is not yet. Okay? So all we're watching is be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man soweth, there it is. So there's your Thanksgiving. You sow seeds means you plant seeds and then you reap. So the reap is the harvest. So when you plant whatever seed, it grows and then you harvest it. That's called reaping. So for whatever a man soweth, thus shall he reap. So if they planted evil seeds, this is so important. If they planted evil seeds, evil people, they will reap evil on their own heads. And Galatians 6 verse saying is screaming, pay attention to thanksgiving.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes, it will. Yes,
you've been telling us that it's going to be a good one. I remember you've said that many times.
Yeah, God is in control. He will not be mocked, but he will only work on his times and his seasons. We were now in that time point. I basically stated very clearly that on the day of judgment, page 35, I stated this on your show and other shows as well. So sound the trumpets on Yom Kippur. This year it was September 25, 2023, and proclaim liberty throughout the land. It shall be a jubilee for you. Now, this is Leviticus. Leviticus talks to the 50-year cycle. The 50-year cycle is confirmed. The 50-year cycle is confirmed with what? It's confirmed with Leviticus. That's 50 years and the Yom Kippur War. So we know we're in a 50-year cycle because of what happened with the breakout of the Yom Kippur War. Now, this is critical here. All nations are judged on Rosh Hashanah. That was this year, September 15th. And their final verdict is sealed on Yom Kippur. So Yom Kippur is a day of judgment. And on that exact day, like, think about this. This is crazy. Of all the time we've known about Trump, on that exact day, he's in a gun store holding a Glock 45 in his hand on the day. This is the day of judgment. And he's holding a Glock 45 on September 25. It's impossible, but it happened. And remember the Schwarzenegger comment, right? Was I'll be back, right? And so you gotta just, none of this is might sound crazy, but you'll find out it's not, because it's all by God's design. This is all by God's design, how this is playing out. And so that, again, leads me to the US dollar cycle. So if you can maybe quickly shoot over all the way down to page 73, and then we'll get into cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bo, as I scroll down there, it reminds me kind of what Jonathan Cahn says. He looks at all these cycles from the Bible that play out again too. He's been very famous for that with his books and what's his famous book, the
Harbinger.
The Harbinger. Yes,
yeah.
Thank you. So he talks about the same things, and he always says it's not as if Trump is studying this stuff, but
exactly.
He's not. It just happens, and it's orchestrated by God, and it all comes together. So that's a really cool part of it.
Right. It's just like the chances of him, from the day he was born to when they proclaimed Israel state in 1948 in May, he was 700 days old to the exact day. The summer solstice of this past year, the summer solstice, when the text came out linking Hunter with his father, Trump was 77 years and 7 days old. Like, I can just go on and on about this, but the point is, it's crazy. But it's just happening right in front of us because it's not coincidences; it's by design.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And so page 73 literally shows the world. This is the dollar chart that the Father, God revealed to me. Okay. I don't want glory for this stuff. I've been right about a lot of stuff because God shows me things. Okay. I'm not guessing. God shows me things. And so I go on your show and I show the world like think about the presentations we've done over all these years. It's all for free. Why? Because God is using me to show the world to prepare for what's coming. So we've talked about the first seal open. It is. We're talking about the second seal of Revelation open. It is. And now we're about to witness the third seal of Revelation manifest on this earth. The great wealth transfer, and directly coupled with the black horse, which is the economic collapse. The economic collapse is expected. I'm just saying it could happen. I could be off, but the huge probability we could see it this coming Monday, the 30th, into Halloween. So I'm just saying, look out. Look out. And so looking at the dollar chart, this is 2 years and 9 months accurate. Think about this. This chart's not accurate for like 2 weeks. No. For 2 years and 9 months, this chart is accurate. From January of 2021, you saw the dollar chart run all the way up until October of 2022. A month later, Bitcoin bottomed to the exact day. Then you've seen January, March, and July of this year, a triple bottom. Boom, boom, boom. Triple bottom. And then I was on your show just a month ago in September. I'm telling you, I'm saying we're watching the US dollar top here as September ends and October begins. We're watching the dollar top. The dollar topped. The dollar turns down in October.
Right here.
It's going to drop in November sizably. I'm telling you, it's going to drop in November sizably, which leads to an economic financial collapse of the dollar in the first quarter of 2024 next year. We've got the pattern on it. I've blocked off the future cycle, but I've got it. All the subscribers, you've seen it. You know when it's coming next year.
Yep.
We laid it out in the stock charts, the patterns. It's all there. It's the dollar set to collapse. It's going to be horrific, but it has to, because they control humanity with it. So the dollar is about to plunge, and the dollar collapse is what? Is the opposite trait of Bitcoin, gold, and silver. So you're wondering why Bitcoin's breaking vertical. Well, it's supposed to be number one, but number two is because the dollar topped, and now you're starting to see Bitcoin jump vertical, and it's just beginning. And those who have, again, this was the update of today. So you just rolled over to page 74. This is today's update. This update is dated October 24th, an hour before coming on show with you. I posted this update. I stuck it in here, and I blocked off the future. But look at this update. Like, tell me this isn't crazy, but for the past 6 months, like this chart you're looking at right here, literally nails the high within 24 hours in May. The Bitcoin then turns down into a June low. To within 24 hours, it turns again to a July top. To within 24 hours, it turned again down into August low. And I've been writing, August low is 0.5. That's the bottom for this year. And Bitcoin's going to start an up cycle beginning on August, and it's going to work its way, that's 0.5, and it's going to work its way up into a very powerful move. And we're starting to see it right here, right now. This chart has been 100% accurate. Those who have my subscription, you can look back at all the charts of September, October, they're all there. I'm just telling you, that's why, like, people say, why are you always happy? Because I know the patterns into the future. There's nothing to fear. You see what I'm saying? We know that God wins, and more importantly, God's going to destroy the financial system to build his kingdom with his money. And and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going to be a huge part of that, because when the Federal Reserve is unimportant, and repeat that, when the Federal Reserve becomes unimportant, the Federal Reserve note becomes unimportant, it loses status as the world reserve currency, the people of the world are going to be using cryptocurrencies to transact at distance. I've been saying this for 2 years now. Few people believe me, but now they're starting to see it. Because when you can't send wires anymore to pay for things, guess what? People of the different countries and nations are going to be using to transact with.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Cryptocurrencies.
Yep. So and probably my XRP, Bo. I got to get that in there.
Yeah, XRP is going to be a part of it. Again, like I've stated before, I'm sure it's going to be a part of this as well too. But there's a lot of great coins. In our updates, I talk about other coins as well too. I do have XRP in there. I think that'll be a great coin. But the only downside is the bankers are the ones that are using XRP. So down the road, it's one of my more scary ones to hold for too long a period of time. A lot of people say a lot of things about XRP, and some could be true, some could be not. I know Bitcoin's like granddaddy, right? It's like grandfather. And so Bitcoin's going to do great, but there's other coins that aren't as expensive that are going to move quicker and faster then Bitcoin. But remember, if Bitcoin's not going up, neither is anything else, right? So now you're starting to see, like you're seeing, the perfect example, you can go on the on where you see all the coins, the coin market cap, and you'll see Bitcoin's up like 10% in 24 hours. But then there's coins that are up 30%,
Right.
50%, 100% in 24 hours. You see, so as long as Bitcoin's exploding, the other who are moving upwards aggressively, and in a bull market, the other coins are exploding relative to Bitcoin. But as long as you got good coins, so it's important to, because I would say, when this event starts to go down, we're going to see 90% of the other coins go to disappear over the next maybe year or so, because they're not necessary. So you got to be really careful about about the cryptocurrencies themselves to know which coins to hold. But ultimately, there's some really fantastic coins that are out there, but all of it is predicated on which direction Bitcoin is going.
Yep. Well, we've talked a lot about your newsletter in this report, Bo, and we always say if you want more information, that's where you can get it. You go to gold2020forecast.com, and I've got it right up on the screen for you there. If you just want to listen to this interview and get Bo's slides, that's all free. Grab it, listen to the interview. As always, we love Bo for coming on and giving us his time on this. But if for the people that want more information, or they say, hey, can't you tell me more? Can't you give me the cycles? Can you reveal the part that you blacked out? We sure can, but that's a paid service that Bo offers to his subscribers, so we try to be fair to them. So if you want to get that, he will give you 50% off. You can use this code WLT49, and he'll take that off for you, give you that discount. And then when you log in, one of my favorite parts is you can log in and you see the entire archive of all the reports. So you can go in and fact check me. I'm usually doing the fact check when I do things, but you can fact check me, and you can go find that part that I read at the beginning of the interview. You can see it's right in there. You can see it's been in there in all the prior reports. I always love getting Bo's newsletters, and I usually stop what I'm doing to read what the latest update is. So you can go there. And then his other thing that we didn't talk about much today, but don't make mistakes. Crypto can be confusing. There's scams out there. Some of it is just hard to figure out. So don't learn your lessons the hard way. Bo has put together a training. He calls it the Easy Crypto School. And you just go to easycryptoschool.com. And again, you can put in our promo code there. It'll give you a discount on that if you want to get that. It takes you from knowing literally nothing about how to buy, sell, or hold crypto to all the way to doing it safely and the right way. So you can go grab that. Bo, I promised we'd try and keep this to about half an hour, just because we just had to jump on and do an emergency broadcast. I think we've done just about that, but let me go back to, there we go. Let me get you back on the screen. And I always like to just wrap up to give you the last word. You've been warning us for 2 years. It's all coming together this week and next week. But as we wrap up, what thought do you want to leave everybody with?
I'll say this, you cannot stop what's coming. What God has ordained, no one can stop. So as much as they might want to stop this or stop that, no one can stop what's coming. Gold and silver are going to explode. Cryptocurrencies are going to explode. The financial markets are going to crash. You can't stop what's coming. The third seal of Revelation is an economic collapse and a great wealth transfer. It's a double-edged sword. I'm telling you, we're almost here. Next week is expected to be historic as we go into Halloween. So we need to watch closely next Monday, next Tuesday. I'm telling you, as October ends and November begins, massive changes are coming upon the world. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be a new means of transacting as we head into next year. Why? Because the US dollar will lose its status as the world reserve currency. 2024, the first quarter of it is going to be horrific. A financial collapse is going to cause the bond markets to break. The way we transact is going to be changed forever. And so those who don't know anything about cryptocurrencies, that's okay. But on the other end of it, you're going to have to learn, because to transact a distance overseas, maybe different states, you're not going to be wanting to send coins and things like that. So it's just going to be easier to click a button and transact within a fraction of a second. So the way we transact is about to change forever. We are so close to historic financial events going down in our world. Watch closely as October ends. Watch closely Thanksgiving time point. Watch closely as we head into the winter solstice. God will not be mocked. It's going to be exciting and crazy as all heck, and also scary for those who are unprepared. Expect a military conflict. This nation will be brought to its knees, but never forget the last line. And then you will hear the sounds of great victory. Thank you, Noah, for having me here.
Thank you, Bo. We're going to be watching. We'll have you back on again soon. Everybody stay safe out there and make sure you're ready. It's going to get wild. Thanks, Bo.
God bless.